Introducing Secrets of Birthdays. Bow chicka bow wow. Are you ready to find love? Bow chicka bow wow. Your secrets are coming out. Bow chicka bow wow. All those sexy secrets are available at secretsofbirthdays.com. Bow chicka bow wow, baby.
Soul Garden. Live, love, be.
Good morning from my smartphone to yours. I'm Castin Love from the Alameda Harbor in Alameda, California, and this is your Monday Namaste Today. Good morning and namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, Christopher Witecki. My modality is psychic astrology, and my mission is to stand in my heart and help other people stand in theirs. This webisode is for Monday, February 15th, 2016, and over Valentine's Day weekend, the Great Human Walk has reached step 26, Aquarius. In fact, today is when we commit to a frequency. And that's what Aquarius is about. The lightest, little, most subtle, tiny root frequencies that we want to have frequenting in our life. And from Aquarius and these light little vibrations of frequencies, everything kind of trickles down and manifests into reality. So Aquarius is the big picture, but it's the tiny little subtle frequency. And today we are committing to that frequency, and we'll be moving on to Pisces by the end of the week. So let's start off the week with today's vibe. Today's vibe is sunny and hyper connected to reality. That's due to all the air sign energy that's going on. Starting with my heart, I feel all my decisions. I feel my whole future ahead of me. I feel. I think there is a heaviness to today to some degree because I think everyone feels that life must move on, and I'm feeling that. Now, my heart needs to commit to what flows. We'll talk about that the whole day, but that is essentially what you want to commit to, and my heart's ready to commit to what works, in essence. And because it's Aquarius frequency, it has to work on a very subtle, very quiet level. Now, what am I feeling? I'm feeling jumpy. It's hard to focus. It's hard to get my mind around things. That's because the moon is in Gemini, and so the electricness of the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Gemini really is all air signs. So emotions make me jumpy, and you want to ground today and maybe do some exercise, something like that, to just get through today. Now, I'm open to what I've committed to only. That's because Venus is at step 28, Capricorn, and so I'm ready to manifest the new rules. I'm ready to manifest the way everything will play out in this year. So think of those New Year's resolutions, so to speak, on New Year's Eve. Technically, it's today that people are actually committing to a New Year's resolution. Now, I'm thinking about my feelings. Mercury has has transcended over into Aquarius over the weekend, and that means our mind is on our belonging, and because Mercury's at step 2 today, your mind is on your feelings. So again, emotions need to be grounded because all this electrical energy can be really excited quickly by emotion if it's not nurtured. Now, what am I doing? I am making the quantum changes in my life. Woot woot. Mars is at step 22, Scorpio. So this really is the dynamic change. You know, we worked on emotional boundaries for over 3 years. And in a way, Mars here at step 22 means today we are putting those into play. So new boundaries are into play, and may the best emotional boundaries win. And lastly, what am I experiencing? Well, I'm experiencing the new religion. This is the philosophy that I thought I wanted to live by. We're at step 15, Sagittarius, and we may be correct and we may be wrong. It's really about what works best for the heart, but what you're experiencing is the beliefs that you worked to at this point, and there will be an opportunity to rewrite those later when Saturn goes retrograde. So your joy quest today, should you choose to accept it, is to focus and commit on what works. Focus and commit on what works. So if something works easily in your life, that's what you want to focus on. That's when you want to commit to. If something is hard, you don't want to focus on it today, and you certainly don't want to commit to. You don't want to commit to anything that is a heavy challenge at this time, because what we're selecting is the easy go, easy flow of Aquarius frequency, the things that you don't mind frequenting all the time in your life, all the time in your life. So this is the time where you only choose the highest good and you simply ignore anything less. All right? So let's move on to today's topic where I will be helping you with the committing to today's frequencies. Today's topic is, sorry, cash only. Reality does not offer future credit. And this goes to the aqua vibration. We're in the frequency of Aquarius, and Aquarius is the highest frequency of reality. And the idea of cash only is the idea of how some people tend to live, which is in the future. Now, the interesting thing about Aquarius is the future because Aquarius is the subtle little frequencies that play out in a reality. So if you are subscribing to a frequency now, you are subscribing to a frequency in the future. Therefore, Aquarius is the future. But for grasshoppers, this can be a little complicated in the sense of how you position your consciousness to manifest, even though you're dealing with the future. And let me explain by bringing you through the 5 o'clock question. The first question is, are you a person that promises yourself things later if you can compromise on things now? Are you a person that promises yourself things later if you compromise on things now? And secondly, do you ever get the things you promise yourself in the future? And I'll answer these questions. And this is all because, again, of Aquarius. Aquarius is dealing with the future. Today we're committing to a frequency which will be the future. And I want to just bring some ideas around how future and how reality manifests and what future really is. Well, do I promise my things later? If I do things now? Yes. In fact, I would say that for the first 20 years of my life, well, no, I should say for the first 30, 35, 38 years of my life, actually, I would keep telling myself, hey, just keep going, Chris, and right around the corner is going to be true love. Right around the corner is going to be success. Right around the corner is going to be this. And I just kept, like a bull, working forward, until, of course, I started to break down, get tired, drop the ball completely many times and be like, what's the matter, So I have done that. I have promised myself things later to get through the now. I've done that, yes. Do I ever get the things I promised myself? Not very often, very rarely. I would say no, I haven't, because there's many little tricks to this trade. By being focused on the future and ignoring the now, I end up having to sacrifice a lot. I end up not getting what I want as a result. And it never really seems to get there. Plus, as soon as I get close to a goal, I tend to add more stuff on. So I never really get there. And that's what I'm getting to here is I have started to realize the power of now and why it is that masters tell us to live in the now. It has to do, I used to think when I thought about masters say live in the now, oh, so boring, I want to live in the future, right? And even then when I started to get into light work, I was like, I want to manifest the future. I don't want to think about now. Now is what I have to tolerate. But I realized, as I understood the nature of manifestation, that it has to do with the way reality works as far as the power of now, is what you be now is what will come next. And that's what I began to realize, that the power of now is not that you should enjoy what you've attracted or that you should be grateful for what you have, but that whatever you're being now is your future, okay? So what you be today, in my calculations with astrology, will come in about 40 days, 6 weeks. You'll see the first sprout come, and it comes from the way you act today. And I also argue the way what you dream tonight is planning 6 weeks ahead too, and I think we live about 6 weeks ahead. So one of the things that Conversations with God taught me was that if you spend your life wanting something, you will receive the next day circumstances that make you want. So if today I live in, I want success, I want love, I want all these things, then in 6 weeks you will get a circumstance where you find yourself wanting love, wanting, but not having. Because you be wanting here, you have more wanting in 6 weeks. And because we're in Aquarius, we are actually setting the most subtle frequencies today and committing to the most subtle things because these subtle things we know trickle down into huge realities over time and over the course of the year. So what we be today and what we tolerate today and tomorrow, you're saying may turn into great, 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 great grandchildren of this frequency. Now that said, oh my God, I don't want to screw it up, right? When it comes to committing to frequency, what do you commit to? Well, first of all, you commit to love. You can't go wrong committing to love. You can't go wrong saying, I'm committing to the frequency of love, and I'm looking around for me to see where I see love right now, and okay, wherever is loving is staying, whatever is not loving is going, and that's real simple because that will trickle down into more love, and anything that doesn't have love at this frequency is not going to have love in 6 months when Leo births this intention. And that's what happens. What we set up here in Aquarius then births down in Leo into our heart and becomes real by the end of the summer. So love is a good way to go when it comes to committing to frequency. The second thing is what works easiest. Okay? We don't want a hard life. We don't want to have challenge all the time. So you must commit to a frequency of easygoing easiness, which means I'm not going to commit to paying off this bill and working 25, hours a day to get down this weight. No way. That's like a crazy commitment to a crazy frequency. That you can't commit to something that intense, right? That's going too far. What can we really commit to that is easy? Because we want what it turns into to be easy. So in the same sense of, oh, I want, and in 6 weeks you get want. If you commit to today, hard, try really, really hard, then in 6 weeks you'll still be in a circumstance that's trying really hard, really trying hard. Therefore, you got to look around you today and tomorrow and go, what works naturally, easy? What can I count on? What do I not have to try hard? What do I not have to change myself for? What is just effortless to be? That is what you commit to because that turns into more effortless, easy life in 6 weeks. So the last thing I want to put out there is quite simply the idea of love, okay? And when you are choosing frequency today, basically you want to stay in your state of I feel, that's the 2, and you want to stay in the easygoing of 6, which is I receive. But the idea is, what do we receive? We receive love. So you want to commit to situations or frequencies where you can receive love, where you can feel good, receive love, receive sunshine. And that brings me to the beginning of this state of this whole thing. It's cash only, no future credit. If you can't receive love right now in the situation, then you are not committing to something easy that will turn into something easy. If you are committing to something where you are not receiving love right now, then you are basically trying to mortgage your future away, and you will never get there. Because by the time you get to 6 weeks, you'll be in that wanting too, because you will have manifested the same wanting that you had at this point. So this is why we have to commit to our highest good at all times, and we certainly have to do it now in Aquarius. All right. Oh, that was my tummy. I don't think it came on the microphone, but let's now transition. I think it's a little cue. Like my tummy's like, come on, let's go. Let's transition now to the Zen Den. And welcome to the Zen Den. And before your affirmation and looking at the planets, let's take 3 breaths and connect to spirit. Okay, and I have an affirmation for you that'll kind of keep you on your day. I accept and receive the natural fit for me, and so it is. I accept and receive the natural fit for me, and so it is. And that's really what it is, natural. Things always want to feel natural, be natural, and that means you have to understand who you are, and you have to be okay with that. And that's a big part of what Aquarius is. And then once you're okay with that, which is the 2 in step 22, the quantum step of Aquarius, then you have to see what naturally feels right, what naturally fits. So if you accept and receive what naturally fits for you, it will all manifest down into Virgo and into the hard realities as things that also fit. And this is where Virgos sometimes are a little weird in the sense that they get over-obsessed with details. Because the truth is if you, accept and receive the natural fit, all the details and grandchildren of that decision will fit also. Okay, so let's take a look at the planets today and see what they are saying. We are in Aquarius, and we're about to wrap it up. In fact, this week is the wrap-up. In other words, we will commit to Aquarius today, and we will be tested on that in the next couple days. And then for the Life Expo that I'm at in Los Angeles, it's kind of interesting. We move into spirituality, Pisces, and start connecting to God's Spirit and God's service. So today we're at step 26. That is the final commitment. That's because 2, I feel, and 6, what I receive, is 8, what I commit to or what I decide. So by the time you fall asleep, you will be making decisions, if you haven't already, that pretty much will stick through the year, like I said. Now, emotions are jumpy because the moon is in Gemini, and in essence, this means that we kind of feel through the entire Aquarius belonging as the moon trines up through this and finally ends in about 36 hours trining the sun, which means we're basically trying to get our feelings and mind around this final decision, and so it could be kind of turbulent for everyone for the next 36 hours as the mind is dealing with the truth. And where is the mind? Well, Mercury is on our feelings. Mercury is at step 2 Aquarius. 2 is I feel. Aquarius is belong. So we're feeling where we belong, and if we're not where we belong, we're going to be very anxious. So when your mind can feel at the very bottom that you're in the wrong place and you're trying to manifest something high, you get real anxious because you can tell that you're on a bad situation. So if you're feeling anxiety today, it might be that you're in the wrong place and your mind is telling you, hey, I'm down at step 2 and this isn't looking very good. Now, Venus is open to final manifestation. Venus is at step 28. I mentioned in the open that we are kind of like really kicking off our New Year's resolutions today. Well, indeed we are. That's because Venus is the final planet to transit through Capricorn, Pluto exception, of course, which will be there forever. And that means that we are setting sail with the official rules. Step 28 is I manifest if I feel it and I decide. So that decision that Venus is waiting for, I think it's today's decision. Whatever we add up to our frequency becomes the rule set of that 8 of the Capricorn. So we're ready to decide and we're ready to receive the new rules and we're ready for things not to change after this. I think every human being. And by the way, things don't change that much after this because as we move into Pisces, we're talking about spirit and God connection and Earth gets a break for a while. So good news is Earth gets a break coming up. Now Mars, Mars, the dumbass, is at step 22 Scorpio. Now the cool thing is step 22 is the quantum step of Aquarius, so Mars is chiming in here. Mars is also ready to protect, your ego's ready to protect that 2 + 2 connection. So again, if you're not being yourself in the first 2, or you're allowing yourself to be around 2s that aren't like you will feel tension and anxiety because Mars is there to draw the line between where the 2s are, both protecting what belongs and getting rid of what doesn't belong. So everyone is tense on the borders, so to speak. Everyone wants the borders to be correct for where they belong. And because we're talking about Mars here, everyone has the propensity to be a major dumbass if they're not being conscious of all this electrical, emotional, I belong stuff going on. It's very complex. Most people just actually act out, do stupid things, and wonder for a while during Pisces what the hell happened, okay? Anything else? And please excuse that plane if you guys were annoyed by that. The final thing is Jupiter. Jupiter is at step 20 Virgo. It has retrograded, continues retrograding. But step 20 is I feel vulnerable. I feel exposed. And remember, Virgo is our reality. So everyone is feeling vulnerable. Everyone is feeling exposed. That's because basically we've turned reality into mud again because we're considering making it into a different type of mud statue or sandcastle or whatever. So reality is kind of muddy. It is not clean. It does feel vulnerable. That's all correct. If you're feeling that way, that's because we're under major reconstruction. And basically what we're waiting for is whatever you commit to in that final high frequency so we can know what this mud will turn into. All right, my friends, that's all I have to kick off the week. I certainly hope that helps you. A couple of shout outs. For one, I'm at the Conscious Life Expo this weekend, Friday, Saturday. and Sunday. So if you're in the LA area, please come on by. And if you're at the convention, definitely stop by my table. We have to take selfies and I need a hug, okay? If you can't make it to the convention, I'm gonna have a Love Fest party Saturday night, probably around 8 p.m., probably in the El Segundo area, which is by LAX. I'll have some stuff up on my website here in the next couple days as we solidify that. Come say hi there if you can. And we now have, again, the Secrets of Birthdays Love and Lust reports available for sale. We've gone through, delivered all the outstanding things, so if you wanted one, no problem. You'll notice the commercials are back. But I will say that if you do want one, remember, you get a free one if you sign up for Serious Joy. So you might want to sign up for Serious Joy and get both. Just saying. All right, my friends, love you so much, and I'm so grateful to be of soul service. I'll see you in 24 hours with more. Until then, remember to live in your heart. Remember I love you, and live, love, be.
So